We all know the Hatter, the eccentric host of an endless tea party, lost in riddles and nonsense. But behind the whimsy of Wonderland lies something far stranger. The story of the Mad Hatter wasn't born from fantasy at all. It was drawn from the dark heart of Victorian England. A time when madness itself had a cause, a source. Its presence was a haunting spectacle, fascinating, grotesque, and all too real. And beyond history, there's something older still. Because the Hatter is more than a man, he is an echo of an ancient archetype, the Trickster, the Mad Seer, the wild wizard lost in time, stepping between worlds and inhabiting alternate realities. So what does the Hatter's madness really mean? And what timeless presence hides beneath that grin? Welcome to Vortex Mythology, where we uncover the dark truths hidden beneath stories to explore what they reveal about humanity and ourselves. If you enjoy speaking in riddles, blurring truth and illusion, sanity and revelation, then subscribe, like this video, and join us as we step into the real Wonderland. Imagine you are in England in the mid-1800s, the air thick with smoke, the streets alive with the rhythm of industry. Yet you step into the heart of one particular industry, long before any of us truly understood the dangers of chemicals, and you step into a laboratory of slow death. This industry, one of England's proudest trades, was that of hats. Your hat wasn't just fashion, it was identity, it was class, and it was power. From the top hats of London gentlemen to the bowlers of merchants and officers, the hat declared who you were before you even spoke. As a factory worker, you'd find yourself in cramped, steaming rooms. The air hums with heat, the walls sweat, the metallic scent of mercury seeps into everything, the floors, your clothes, and your lungs. You dip animal fur into shimmering vats of mercury nitrate, stirring until it binds and thickens, transforming rough fibres into fine felt. It looks like alchemy, magic even, but every breath carries a silent poison. At first, you'd notice nothing. Maybe a mild tremor in your hand as time went on. Then your words start to slur. You snap at your friends. You laugh when nothing's funny, and soon you hear whispers, voices that no one else can hear. And by the time the doctor gives it a name, erythism mercurialis, or Mad Hatter's disease, it's already too late. Lewis Carroll never said his hatter was poisoned by mercury. He didn't need to. His readers knew. They'd seen the twitching, the erratic chatter, the fevered grin, in the workshops, on the streets, and behind the asylum walls. One hatter, Thomas Corbett of Stockport, even saw visions. He shouted at shadows. He claimed he could control time itself. Witnesses said he'd swing between joy and fury in the space of minutes. He died raving, his body saturated with mercury, his mind long dissolved. A generation later, Carroll wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And in this tale, time itself stops. The Hatter trapped forever in an endless tea party, doomed to repeat the same motions again and again. It wasn't fantasy, it was a prophecy, disguised as nonsense. And by the time England finally banned mercury, it was the mid-20th century, far too late. The phrase mad as a hatter had already entered the language, a cruel joke built on real suffering. Newspapers used it to mock erratic politicians and entertainers, forgetting that the madness they laughed at had been chemically engineered. And in Carroll's hands, that madness became myth, a table that stretches forever, clocks that never move, guests who can't leave, an endless tea party where time itself is broken, just like the minds that inspired it. To the casual reader, it's absurd, but to anyone who knew the truth, it wasn't Wonderland that was mad. It was all of England itself. The Hatter is not a villain. He's not even mad in the malicious sense. He's a mirror, reflecting a world that laughs at suffering while causing it. When he tells Alice, it's always tea time. It sounds like nonsense, but symbolically it's horror. Time has stopped for him. He cannot move forward, he cannot rest, he cannot change. He is trapped in an eternal ritual, an endless shift disguised as a tea party. And in that way, the Hatter becomes more than a caricature of industry. He becomes an archetype, and one of the oldest in all of myth and legend, the Mad Seer, who speaks truth through madness, the trickster who mocks order by breaking it, the wizard lost in time, half in this world, half in another. Every culture has one, from Loki and Hermes to Merlin and Cassandra, beings who see too much, who play with the rules of gods and kings, and who pay for that sight with their sanity. They blur the line between wisdom and lunacy, comedy and tragedy. And like them, the Hatter is not evil. We could even say that he's necessary. He exposes the madness of the world around him by embodying it. He laughs at authority. He ridicules logic and questions the tyranny of time itself. And in doing so, he reveals what Carroll perhaps sensed in his own age, that progress, reason, and order can drive a society just as insane as chaos ever could. Victorian England worshipped the clock. Trains ran by it, factories ruled by it, lives measured in hours worked and pounds earned. And yet here sits the Hatter surrounded by ticking watches, teacups and endless chatter, a parody of the very obsession that defined his age. And when we meet him in the story, we feel that same confusion. He seems to want to help Alice, to guide her even, yet his riddles leave her, and us, more bewildered than ever before. Is he a friend or a foe, a prophet or a fool? Like the tricksters of old, he refuses to be one or the other. He stands on that threshold, not villain, not hero, not even human in the ordinary sense. He belongs to that strange class of beings who exist to question reality itself, who make us ask whether our own sanity is just another form of collective delusion. This is his role, and that is the role of so many characters, so many archetypes that came before him. In the end, his laughter isn't joy, it's revelation. The sound of a mind cracking open under too much truth. His endless tea party is not fantasy, it's purgatory, a mirror held up to the world that has mistaken motion for meaning, time for progress and madness for normality. Every great innovation comes with a cost, and in the factories of England that cost was human sanity. The Mad Hatter becomes a timeless warning, the face of progress smiling through its own decay. The Hatter endures because he is all of us, the worker, the dreamer, the fool and the prophet combined. He is the shadow side of reason, the reminder that when we chain ourselves too tightly to order, something deep within will always go mad trying to escape. Today the phrase mad as a hatter lingers in our language, stripped of its origin. Few realise it was born from real men, poisoned, trembling and dying for fashion. Their madness became entertainment, their pain became metaphor. And yet their story survived. Reborn in Wonderland, from Disney's bright absurdity to Burton's gothic dreamscape, the Hatter endures, part comic, part tragic, smiling through the tremors. He is at once victim and visionary, warning and wonder, the fool who sees the truth too clearly to stay sane. Beneath whimsy, Carroll's world reflects a deeper reality. The endless tea party is not just industry or time, it is existence itself, the endless cycle of work, ritual and distraction. The Queen's absurd authority, the clock's tyranny, the riddle with no answer. It is civilization seen through a cracked mind. And that's why the Hatter still feels alive, because his madness is not a relic, it's a reminder. Every time progress demands a human cost, another Hatter is born. He carries the same archetype found in every age, Loki's chaos, Merlin's sorrow, Cassandra's curse. He reminds us that wisdom and madness often share the same face, and that sometimes, to glimpse the truth, you must first lose your grip on the world that you know, because that is the world that hides it. So when we laugh at the Hatter, whether in Carroll's words, Disney's colours or Burton's shadow, perhaps, maybe, we recognise part of ourselves. spinning the cups, keeping time, smiling through tremors, the face of progress still smiling through its own decay. Thank you for watching Vortex Mythology. If you've enjoyed uncovering the darker truths behind familiar stories, subscribe and join us as we explore the myths, histories and hidden horrors that shape our world. And tell us in the comments, what do you think the Mad Hatter represents? Is he a victim of his age, or a reflection of ours? Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, even madness has a reason.